Good day. I'm Engine Cadet Mark Anthony M. Salazar, and I'm here to explain the lubricating oil system. The content of my presentation focuses on the system components, purpose, operation, and maintenance. First, we'll start with the components. The system components. It is mainly composed of the lube oil sump tank, a strainer, the main engine lubricating oil pump, lube oil filter, lubrication oil coolers, and distribution manifold. The lube oil sump tank. It is a large space used to store the lubricant, surrounded by the cofferdams, located below the crankcase, under the main engine in the double bottom. Further, it is the place where all the return lines for the lube oil meets and drain. Therefore, it is included with the major instruments such as level gauge, heating pipes, sound pipes, and suction port. A strainer. It is a type of filter with a large mesh size, usually fitted at the low pressure or suction side of a pump in a lubricating oil system. It is quite easy to clean and installed to resist very large particle size. This needs to be cleaned regularly. Otherwise, the pressure difference across its sides, may become unoperational. On the ship's main lube oil system, a strainer is fitted on the suction of the oil pump inside the sump or drain tank. Main engine lubricating oil pump. The lube oil system contains two screw pumps used to deliver the lubricating oil to all the parts of the engine. Under normal condition, one pump is operational while the other is on standby. The pump takes action from the engine sump or drain tank and pumps it to the distribution manifold via filter and cooler. From the distribution manifold, the lube oil reaches various working units of the engine, such as bearings, guides, under piston space, hydraulic power supply unit, and etc. These pumps are mostly engine-driven for slow-speed engines and motor-driven for medium and high-speed engines. Further, the outlet valves are of non-return type in event of failure. Lube oil filter. Marine lube oil filters are fitted just after the pumps towards its discharge side. They are installed to prevent very small particles from getting into the system. This filter removes wear metals and foreign particles that may increase friction and cause wear. In old times, this friction used to be a duplex filter type, later replaced by auto backwash and centrifuge filters. Lubrication oil coolers. The operating lube oil temperature at engine inlet is between 45 degrees Celsius. If it reaches or goes beyond 60 degrees Celsius, an alarm will come and the engine will slow or shut down based on the lubricant temperature. The cooler installed after the filter is to reduce the pressure drop across its inlet and outlet valves. Plus, if the cooler is installed before, there is a higher chance of contaminants being settled in the lube oil cooler, affecting the rate of the heat transfer. In addition, having a cooler after the filter unit allows for better filtration of the less viscous fluid or oil. This increases the efficiency of the filtration unit and further reduces the viscosity drag. Distribution manifold. After the lube oil cooler, the lubricating oil goes to the distribution manifold from which it is distributed to all the parts of the engine. The major part of the lube oil is then sent to the crosshead via a telescopic pipe. From the crosshead, the oil is further diverted to the under piston space, guides and crosshead bearings. Now, from the drillings in the connecting rod, it goes to the bottom end bearing. The remaining oil goes to the thrust bearing, chain drive, hydraulic power supply unit to actuate the exhaust valves, main bearings, and vibration dampers. From there, the return oil drain back into the oil sump. Here are some trivia for our lubricating oil system. According to a report published by the Swedish Club and later affirmed by the Alfa Laval, the engine damage accounts for 34% of the maintenance costs, with just 24% of all the machinery claims. Next, Further, in 48% of case lubrication failure or lubricating oil system is the cause, making it the topmost cause for the main engine failure. Therefore, it is important to ensure adequate lubrication at all times. Next, we will know its purpose. As we all know, adequate lubrication of parts is required to avoid heat buildup and wear, thus playing an essential role in the working of a ship machinery and marine diesel engine in particular. The lubrication system of an engine provides a supply of lubricating oil to the various moving parts in the engine. Its main function is to enable the formation of a film of oil between the moving parts, which reduces friction and wear. Next is the operation of the lubricating oil system. First, the hand pump transfers cylinder oil in the storage tank to the service tank. Second, oil flows to the engine-driven lubricators by gravity. Third, the main engine lubricating oil pump takes suction from the lube oil sump tank through a duplex strainer. Fourth, it supplies the oil to the main engine through a cooler and an auto backwash filter. Fifth, from the storage tank, lubricating oil is transferred to the lube oil sump tank by gravity as and when required. Sixth, the purifier feed pump takes suction from the lube oil sump tank and supplies it to the purifier through a heater. Seventh, the purified oil is delivered back to the sump tank. Eighth, the used oil from the stuffing box is drained to the dirty oil tank, and then the purifier purifies the dirty oil and transfers it to the clean oil tank. And lastly, the CJC filter further purifies the oil and transfers it to the lube oil sump tank. Operating conditions. In any dynamic system, the process is reflected by its parameter. Any parameter deviating in value from its normal levels will signify a change in the system process. For example, if the temperature of oil at the engine inlet is higher than the normal, it indicates a wrong setting on the viscosity regulator. If the pressure of the oil at the engine inlet is lower than the normal, it indicates a clog filter. Next is how to maintain the lubrication oil system. Things to do. Clean lubrication reservoir periodically, but do not use cotton or fiber rags. Inspect suction filter and screens. Filter should be replaced and screen should be cleaned annually. Remove and clean the strainer regularly. Change line filter. Inspect flexible hoses for cracks, punctures, and wear. Check tubing or pipe for platting or breaks. Here are my references that helped me come up with my presentation. That would be all. Thank you and God bless.